Hi, and welcome to the channel. I hope you're well today, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and for more information and on anything to do about finance. And if you have ideas, you're welcome to tell me. I'm just going to touch briefly today on the two-pot system and how it works and how it affects you. I see from the comments on other people's on other YouTube videos and stuff that there seems to be a lot of misunderstanding and stuff. So I'm going to try and explain it slightly differently, and then maybe then more people will understand how it works and how it affects them. So let's get into this. Okay, so how it used to work when you had, obviously now I'm referring to pension funds and retirement annuities. You obviously, which is two different products, but you would pay into both. Okay, obviously with a retirement annuity, you could only access any money from the retirement annuity when you reach 55. So any age from 55 to 65, you can then retire from the fund, and then you can get then a 1/3 in cash, one third lump sum, and the other 2/3 you would get as a monthly pension. And obviously you would get tax on the monthly pension at your tax rates. So that's why a lot of people wait until 65 to retire, to let the fund build up, and to also then pay a lower tax rate, because over 65 you pay a lower tax rate, you get a higher rebate and things like that. But now before this, you couldn't access, the only way you could access money is to retire from the fund 55 or older, and then start and then access money like that. But then you would take your lump sum, and the rest would go into a pension. So that's a retirement annuity. With your pension fund, like at work and that, how it used to work is you could only access your pension when you resigned. So people would resign and then take the whole pension out and pay the tax on that. Because obviously with the retirement annuity and a pension, it's tax deductible going in, so it's taxable coming out. So in other words, you get a tax deduction when the money goes in, so they reduce whatever you pay in, they reduce that off your taxable income for the year, and then they rework out your tax on that. So obviously that's how you get a refund. So so that's how it would work. Now, you couldn't access your money at all until you resigned. The problem is, if you resign, let's say you work 10 years, 20 years, you resign, you take all your money out. You work another 10 years, 20 years, you resign, you take your money out. Then you start working again, then you start paying into a pension. Then you've got nothing when you retire. So what the plan is instead of giving you access to all of your money and only when you resign, they're actually changing things with the two-pot. They've been looking at this for a couple of years, and they implemented it from the 1st of September this year, 2024. So what you can do now, okay, with your RA and your pension, what it is, it's split into two pots. So I'm going to talk about two pots now. I'm going to add the other pot later when I've explained this to you. Then it's going to be easier to explain, because when you start talking about three pots and a two-pot system, people will get mixed up which is which. So you get a savings pot and you get a retirement pot. Okay. So now what happens? This is now with the new contributions from the 1st of September this year. Whatever you pay into your retirement annuity or pension fund will get split into the two pots. One third will go into your savings pot. The other 2/3 goes into your retirement pot. Okay. So now, also some other money went in, but I'm going to explain that later. Let's talk about the two pots first. So if you pay let's say 3,000 Rand a month, then 1,000 will go into your savings pot every month. 2,000 will go into your retirement pot. Okay. So and if you pay in 1,000 Rand a month, then 333 will go into your savings pot, and 666 will go into your retirement pot. So every month that will go in. Okay. Now, Also now I'll explain the other part as well, where the other money comes in from, but from the third pot. But now the savings pot, is now accessible. Okay, so once a year you can actually access the money from your savings pot, which you couldn't do before. Okay, now no, the money's already been tax deductible. Okay, but you can withdraw a third, but you will pay tax on that third because you had a tax deduction already on that money. So you can take a third. You can take a third every year, each year, but you must just take note. It's actually for emergencies. So only if it's a valid emergency must you look at taking that money. You must try not to take that out. Okay, so yeah, so you can now access a third of your money on new contributions. You can actually access that money, but it isn't advisable. Like I say, I would rather. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take this as financial advice. And it is a disclaimer that I am not a financial advisor. But if you let your money grow and build up, you're going to have more at retirement when you need it. You can, if you've got, what they said was the first year, obviously, because this is now a new thing, people have got access to the money. They predicted, some of the bigger banks and stuff predicted from 50 billion to 100 billion rands that was going to be withdrawn. So I actually think we're on track. We're on track for that. From what I've heard, it is approaching the lower figure already, and it's only December. So I think we're on about 30 billion or so far. Look, it is going to be a boost to the economy. People are going to withdraw money. It's going to help boost retailers. It's going to help boost the economy slightly because obviously people have got access to money that they previously didn't have. But this is by making it that you can't access all of your money, even when you resign now. You've only got access to a third, where the other 2/3 must stay for a pension. It's actually to protect people from themselves, because if you take all of your money, then you're going to end up with nothing at retirement, which is a problem. And people think, retirement's far. When you're 20s, retirement's far. Your 30s, no, I've still got long to save. But you're missing out on the compound interest. If you start at 20 and your money grows with compound interest over that 40 years or something, you'll make a huge amount, and then you'll have enough to retire comfortably. Retirement does approach quickly. I mean, I'm approaching retirement, and it seems the other day I was in my 20s. So don't delay. If you haven't got something in place, your retirement annuity, and I also talk about tax-free savings accounts and another thing, so listen to that one as well. All very, very valid things, worthwhile having. Okay, so now you've got your third and your 2/3. Okay, now what I'm going to talk about now is the third pot. So it's a 2-pot system with 3 pots. Okay, so if you can understand that. So now the third pot is your vested pot. Now the third pot is everything you contributed before September the 1st of 2024. So in other words, you had funds. And by the way, in these funds in the pots, they're still invested like they were. So nothing's changed with that. It's just that they're allocating it to pots for paying out. So now the money in your vested pot, the money from previous, what they did on the 1st of September, they probably would have sent you a statement saying this. What they did is they took an amount plus minus 10% of that value of the vested pot, and up to a maximum of 30,000. They transferred that from the vested pot to your savings pot. So a lot of people will have started from the 1st of September with 30,000 or 10% of what they saved previously into the savings pot that was taken from the vested pot. Okay, so I think you understand now why I brought this in later. Otherwise, it gets very confusing. So you got your savings pot, you've got access to that anytime you want to. But like I said, it's not advisable to take that because you will pay tax at your marginal rate. But some people have been taking it. They actually said when this thing started in September, the first people to withdraw, the majority were 40 to 49-year-olds. And then after, say, a month or so, then they said the age had dropped from 35 to 40-year-olds that were drawing. And they actually say it's not just the poorer people. They say quite a few rich people have been drawing money out as well. Like I say, if you want to draw money out, you can. You've got access to it, which you didn't have before. But you can't draw your whole savings. So in other words, the government's actually making sure you try and save 2/3 of your savings in the funds. Save it for retirement, which is when you need it. Believe me, you're gonna need it later. People just think of short-term things. Oh, I'll buy a new car. I'll do this. I'll do this. And they take that money out. And also you pay heavy tax on your withdrawals, but also the charges. I've heard that the charges that they charge you are quite punitive as well. They're quite bad. So in other words, they charge you like a couple of $100 to withdraw your own money from your fund because you're drawing it early. So just be aware of that. Just be aware of your charges and your tax. But the best thing to do is to leave it to grow, and then have the benefit rather when you retire, when you need the money when you retire, rather than taking it now. And so I think that's sort of give you a background how it works. A lot is staying the same. It's just the way of access to money with the various pots. So if there's anything you don't understand, you're welcome to ask. You're welcome to comment on this, and you're welcome to ask what else you would like to speak on. I've got a few ideas always coming up, but I'd like to hear what you guys say. Thank you very much.